Hey there, Shanel here from the Heart and Soul with your weekly Oracle card reading for October 17th through the 23rd, 2022. A little spiritual guidance to get you through your week. Last week was definitely an interesting one as we were kind of processing a lot of energies. So it's interesting to see what's going to come up this week. Just before we get to that, it is a Night with Spirit this Friday, October 21st at 7:30 p.m. in Dundas, Ontario, in person. Group mediumship readings. There's still space if you're interested in tickets. Let me know. As well, this Sunday, special opportunity, I am doing a mentorship session for mediumship. So if you'd like to get in on that, it is on Sunday, October 23rd at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can register for Divine Map and get part of that, or you can register for it on its own, your choice. Yeah, let's move on to that reading. I was drawn to the Rebecca Campbell deck today, the Rose Oracle. And of course, as always, we are going to draw 3 cards for the energy of this coming week. That is card number 1. It doesn't want to come all the way out. This is a newer deck still, and the cards are still really sticky. I know that sounds a little strange because they're not actually sticky, but when they're in that box together, then they tend to kind of stick together a bit. That's why it's really important when you get a new deck to do that piece of like cracking it and pulling them all apart just so that they're easier to work with. You can learn more about that in the Oracle card reading workshop in Thinkific. All right, let's see what the first card has to say. Card number 1, healing the mother line. Healing ancestral work, mother line, growing up. It's funny because it doesn't feel like mother line at all. It just feels like this divine feminine. We have lived in a world that has been dominated by male energy for ever, right? Yes, there were queens along the line, but typically there's a lot of passing down of titles to male. And also, just if you look at government and a lot of major power places in government across the world, a lot of them are held by men, but that's changing. It has been changing for a long time, but it definitely feels like this divine energy of feminine. It's also this piece of a feminine energy, a female, a nurturing energy. And I should caveat by saying, like, it doesn't matter what you consider yourself. It's just kind of the definition of these kind of yin and yang energies. We all hold both within ourselves, just some are stronger than others, and then we kind of present in a different way. But regardless of how you present, of how you feel, this divine feminine energy, this energy of nurturing, of healing, of warmth, of love is so different than the power energy that is often connected to male, that we find that it's being strong and forceful and all these things, but a feminine energy can also be very, very strong in a very different way, in a very caring and nurturing way versus in a do what I tell you kind of way. And I'm not trying to say that that's the way men are. Don't get me wrong. It's just a very different way of feeling that energies. It's a more commanding energy as a male energy, that strength. We are being encouraged to really embody these more feminine energy pieces into our lives, because our life should be filled with love and joy. Our life should be filled with peacefulness. The life should be filled with happiness and love. And there is a way to still command and to be strong and to empower and hold space in a way that is very kind and compassionate and from our heart. Okay, I'm going to keep going. They're telling me pull card number 2. I could rant on with for this for a long time, I think. Card number 2 is healing is happening. You're not broken. Trust the process. It's safe to soften. Yes, they go together, but this energy of healing has really been the kind of predominant energy of the past, I don't know, 6 months to a year, maybe even a year and a half, depending on who you are and how fast you stepped into the process. And I know personally, I've really been feeling this over the last few weeks, this piece of like, what are the parts of ourselves that we are letting go of? And what are we grieving? And what are we actually embracing and moving forward? And for me, it was like opening a can of worms. And as I understood one piece better, it just kind of trickled out into so many more parts of things that I'm trying to heal and move forward from and grow. And it's been overwhelming. And I feel like that's the case for a lot of people. For those that aren't stepping forward and doing the work, it's feeling like a weight is over you. It feels very daunting and overwhelming because you're not sure how to bring it all back together. Even for those of us who have been doing the work, it's been incredibly emotional as things just keep coming to the surface to be purged. It's a little bit different in how the feeling is, but it's both of them. It feels overwhelming. The energy has been really big because this massive shift is happening right now. And it's not like today we shift. It's a general thing that happens over sometimes days, sometimes weeks, and this one feels like it's happening over months. It feels like a 6-month period where this shift is happening, and some will shift quickly and some people will shift slowly. It's totally personal in your healing journey and your growth journey right now. They're telling me to move on. Card number 3. Plant yourself here. Integration, embodiment, grounded action. I love the deep roots that show up on this card and this need for grounding and connection, because I feel like this is also coming up so much with clients, with myself, in the readings, and just energetically. Although we are standing still and we are taking the time to dig our roots deep, it is not a period of non-happening. It is a period of creation, a period of planning and building and growing. It is not a time for big action necessarily in the movement forward. It's time for big action inward. So taking time for contemplation, for healing, for really taking stock of where you are and where you want to go. Because I feel like that one keeps coming up too so much lately. This piece of like, is this what you really want? Or are you just doing this because you feel like it's the right thing to do? Are you just doing this because it's what it's expected of you? Big question, right? It feels like it's so important in this time to really assess this, to really be confident in the choices that you are making, because when you are just compromising and giving in, it's not going to have a positive outcome. And that doesn't mean that it doesn't work. It just means that internally it's not going to feel good. And energetically, globally, it is about feeling good. Again, it's this return to love, this return to divine feminine. It's return to nurturing, caring, and loving each other again. There was a time and a place where that's the way that the world worked, because nobody got through to the other side if we didn't. It took a village. And we are back to that. This awareness that it takes a village, that we need to love and support each other, that we need to not compete with each other because there is more than enough to go around. But we need to lift each other up, straighten each other's crowns. That is where the power is right now. That it just feels big and it feels heavy. So take time with this. Maybe watch it more than once. I know that I will be, and I was the one that spoke it all. Yeah. Have patience with yourself right now and all the healing that is going on. I do private readings. I do them over Zoom online. So please reach out anytime if you're interested in digging deeper into your own stuff. If you want a less expensive way to work with me, Divine Map is an incredible way to work with me multiple times throughout the month, and dig into some healing work as well. So grateful, so grateful today for you and for being here on a spiritual journey together. Thank you so much. From my heart and soul to yours. Have an incredible week.